Okay, Deon, are you ready? Can you give me an indication? Can we start? Deon, I see that your hand is up.
Thanks, Rayon. I don't have a question, just a request to everyone on the call, please. If you recall, I will send the audio to everyone that is RSVP'd. So I've got the list from Lindiwe and the audio will be sent to everyone. If you need video, please email me. Otherwise, I'm going to miss it. Jan, don't send a WhatsApp. Just send an email to me and I'll send you the video recording as soon as possible. Thanks.
Okay, I'm just opening up to see who's actually on the call so that I can start with my questions. And then running through the team press conference protocols, you all know by now. Please show your hand so that, and then I will direct you to Deon to ask your question. And when you finish, if you can just do me the favor in lowering your hand so that I can see who else I must get a question from. Okay, so in starting, I want to ask Deon to get us to kick off. Deon, you've had now a week in camp. There was a mini break, and last week was not too many people or too many players in the camp. Today, a bigger complement of players. How has today's session been, and how was last week's experience in the camp?
No, Ryan, I think we started out with a lot of energy and a lot of excitement in the camp last week. It's been a while since we've been together practically and physically into these sessions. Obviously, we in our alignment camps, we spoke about a lot of stuff, and now we had the time and the opportunity to apply that. Obviously, we didn't have a lot of numbers last week, but I think we've ticked the boxes that we wanted to tick last week, and getting the bulk of the players in this week, you could clearly see the excitement growing, new energy coming in, and with more numbers, obviously you get more repetitions, you get more competition, and then you can clearly see the guys are really excited. And with today's session, obviously there were some good things that we saw, and looking forward to this afternoon session to build on that and for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Deon. And just to give it context, today, obviously in camp, there are most of the locally based players that were named in the squad a couple of days ago. So we go over to Ken Boland for your first question. Ken, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rayon. Thanks very much. Good afternoon, Deon. You mentioned new energy, and of course, you're one of the guys who are bringing new energy into the Springbok camp because you weren't part of the World Cup and that. How is it for you coming into this world champion setup? And how nice is it to be coaching a pack of forwards, which I think many people would say is the best pack in world rugby?
No, definitely, it's a massive honor and a huge privilege and humble experience to be here. It's fantastic to be in such a dynamic environment, and also working with players with so much experience. Obviously, for me, coming in, it's about sharing experience and also learning a lot from the people around me and the players. And I think that collective approach, where it's not about the individual, but more about the whole team and doing things that are the best for the team. That is for me very important going forward. Yeah, obviously the guys, they've won a World Cup. They've learned a lot of lessons. There's a lot of good systems and things in place, and it's just fantastic to look at that, to build on that, and to decide together in terms of where we can improve and to make that adjustments. Obviously, the players, in my opinion, must play a huge role in doing that, and it's quite good to sit together with them, having chats about what worked, what didn't work, what do we see, and what plans we can make going forward. So up till now, it's been a fantastic experience.
Thank you, Deon. And then we go over to Craig Lewis.
How's it, guys? Deon, I just wanted to ask about the Dupree twins. What specifically brought them back into the Springbok frame, and how do you think their games have changed and improved over in England playing for Sale?
You know, I've been privileged to work with those guys at under 20 level, and I mean from that stage already, we know they are quality rugby players. They're big, physical. They're good line-out forwards. They're good ball carriers. They're strong in contact. They can stop momentum. They can give you momentum. And from them playing in Europe against quality international players week in and week out, I think they've proved over the games that they've played that they grew a lot in the sense of getting themselves involved in battles, upping their work rate. In terms of the execution, there's a lot of versatility in terms of how they are used in the line-out, JL and Dan being line-out forwards, playing lock and flank. Yeah, and they just give you that different dimension, and it's fantastic to see them eventually making that step up and playing to their ability, and we're looking forward to having them here.
Okay, next question goes to Asfaq Mohammed, also in Cape Town.
Hi, Deon and Ryan. Deon, good to see you in a Springbok jacket there. Your experience now, finally you've got a few more players to work with there. What do you hope to bring as a new forwards coach to that pack? As we know, they did so well at the World Cup, but they haven't obviously played since. And then secondly, Siya Kolisi, it obviously took him a while to get up to full fitness again once he joined the Sharks. How do you think he's going at the moment? Obviously, still a lot of improvement in his game, but yeah, what do you hope to improve in Siya's game? Thanks.
I think, personally, I think me and Siya and with the rest of the forwards have been in conversations on a lot of fundamentals and a lot of technical stuff in terms of their performances over the past competitions. I think there's definitely Siya coming back and playing for the Sharks. I think over the past weeks, there's a clearly you can see a clearly improvement and the way he performs with the ball and especially off the ball, and having Siya in today's session in the camp, it's just fantastic for him with bringing that experience and just continue growing in his approach in the game. So yeah, I think Siya is very is a big core part of this whole pack of forwards going forward. And myself, as I said, obviously, I will just facilitate and add in terms of the needs of the players, whether it's from a strategical point of view, whether it's from a technical point of view, and together with them, build decide on an approach and playing towards our strength going forward, depending on the challenges that we're going to face.
Thank you, Deon. And now we go to Jan de Koning.
Dankie, Ryan. Deon, firstly, can you give us the exact number of players you've got this week? And exactly what aspects of the game are you focusing on this week?
Okay, in terms of the numbers, we have about 26. If I'm correctly, I'm going to thumb suck that now into. I'm thinking our forwards. We've got about 17 forwards in the squad. Today we had a pack of forwards, and we had about 6 guys coming in from the other guys from the other clubs or franchises. For the week, obviously, we've got a set of we've got a sequence in terms of what we want to achieve every day. So, for instance, for today, our big focus is on exit plays. Tomorrow, our focus will be on attack plays. On Thursday, we will focus more in terms of our defense. And then obviously in the sessions itself, we have different outcomes in terms of having a conditioning component, having a technical or a strategical component. So yeah, we we build on those components in the different departments and put it together, whether it's in different units or whether it's team related.
Thank you. And just to add to what Deon is saying, Jan, I'll obviously with the influx of players and their number, I'll be in touch with you just to make sure that we relay the correct information to you. Thank you, Deon. Then we go over to Heinz.
Hi, Deon. You did touch on it to an extent, but just on the Preez twins again, I just wanted to know, have you, given that you guys know they have been pretty solid as line-out jumpers as well, you must quite be chuffed that at club level they've actually played a lot of games in different positions, particularly John Luke at lock, just to actually give you that further insurance that these guys actually really can play in different positions. It's not just a theoretical thing. And I suppose it's also just a major advantage in a dynamic environment like this, where you might actually be by, almost in the blink of an eye, without a couple of locks or even a couple of flankers. That versatility must be really great.
Yeah, that is. It's good to have players with that versatility. I mean, John Luke is there. You have Dan is also a good line-out forward. You've got Peter Steve the Toy that have experience in terms of that. Obviously, your biggest challenge comes when you have to have players that can run a line-out. But in that case, obviously, with Loot and Archie out, you've got experienced guys like Franco Mostert. You've got Nicholas Jansen van Rensburg and Marvin Ori who've been and who've played there who can run that for you. But having that assurance that you have the Preez twins, you have also a guy like Reinhard Elstedt, those guys that can assist in that number 4 lock position. It's good to have that versatility in your squad.
Thank you, Deon. And we go over to Morgan Pick.
Hi, Deon. Deon, with the retirement of Ox after the World Cup final in 2019, are you happy? Oh, sorry, not Ox, Beast. Are you happy with the depth that we've got at loose head prop, and perhaps excited about the prospect of Ox and Chair finally getting a long-awaited run in the green and gold?
We know Ox is a quality player, and in Beast, we know Beast was a special player in terms of what he brought to the team, and his experience was valuable for the guys in the World Cup. It's not easy to replace that kind of experience, but Ox over the years have been consistent in terms of what he's doing. I think it's a good time for him to come in now and to show that he can make that step up going forward. I think he's been quite consistent in terms of his performances. Maybe Dan Heeman will be more specific in terms of how we see him coming scrum time. But overall, for me, in terms of his fundamentals and in terms of his understanding of the game and his work rate, I think he's a good asset having him as part of this camp.
Okay, we have a question here from Raga's website.
Sorry, everyone. My name is Carl Fabian. According to your earlier statement, you said that you're going to play according or towards your strengths. Do you consider your pack of forwards as one of the strengths? Because obviously the British and Irish lines are bringing proper solid forwards. And do you think you've got enough time to get all the combinations ready for them? I mean, your hookers and your locks and those guys haven't played together for quite a time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're right in what you say, that they haven't been together in quite a time, but obviously the guys have a good understanding in terms of what worked for them and what did not work for them. I think it's important for us to use every session to ensure that we are spot on in terms of our detail and in terms of what we want and how we're going to approach everything around forward play. Obviously, the combinations around the front row, around the loose forwards, the locks that are still here have played together at some time. And yeah, we just have to build around that and sort of get the other guys in tune in terms of where we want to go and what we want to achieve. I think the foundation, there was a very good foundation set in terms of the World Cup with the weeks and the games that have led up to that. At this point in time, it's just important that we build on that and that we make sure that we have our detail and clarity in each session in terms of what we want to achieve.
Thank you, Deon. And in conclusion of Deon's session, before we go to a very brief update from him in Afrikaans, very briefly. So we go over to Stephen now. Stephen?
Hi, Deon. Thanks very much for chatting to us today. I just want to check with you, is there any update today on Dwayne and any other issues with regards to injuries in the squad?
Stephen, there's consistent feedback being given by Jacques through the medical staff on the injured players. I think they are in contact, our medical staff are in contact with the clubs in terms of with their medical staff in terms of where the players are. We received feedback, but the specifics around that have been handled between the medical staff.
Thank you. And in conclusion, Deon, if I may just pause for a second and ask you this question in Afrikaans, if you can reply in Afrikaans, just for Percy and TV News en Radio. Kan ek jou vra net baie kort, as jy in Afrikaans kan opsom, verlede week het die kamp begin, hierdie week julle paar spelers, die groep is so naby aan 30, net jou ervaring in die kamp verlede week en natuurlijk nou en dan hoe was dit met die groter groep spelers sover vandag?
Ja, er was groot opgewondenheid verlede week toe ons by mekaar kom as bestuurslede en as spelers. Natuurlijk het ons in die weke vooraf baie aanlyn met mekaar gepraat, sodat ons is opgewonde om nou 'n kans te kry om net weer fisies by mekaar te wees en 'n spanvergadering te sit en dan op die oefenveld te kom. Dit het baie goed gegaan verlede week. Natuurlijk hierdie week met die groter groep spelers wat bygekom het. Ek dink die manne was baie bly om mekaar te sien, groot opgewondenheid onder die spelers self. En dan ook vandag in ons spanvergaderings in terme van ons beplanning vir wat ons wil doen vir hierdie week. Dit was goed om almal te sien. En ons het 'n goeie sessie vanoggend gehad en ons sien uit na dit vir ons voorlê vir die res van die week.
Baie dankie Deon, as ek vir jou kan vra om net dan te kan skryf.